So whenever I start a new hobby, I always dive in head first, right? If it's a new game, then not only do I want to play the game, but I want to watch people stream it, and I want to watch YouTube videos on it, and I want to read about the game. If it's a new book, I don't just want to get the first book, I want to get the whole book series, and I want to see what people are saying about it online. And it was the same thing with content creation. When I decided that I wanted to become a content creator, I started consuming any kind of content that I could that had to do with content creation. So I was watching YouTube videos, how to start your stream, how to grow your followers. I was reading articles about it. I was watching other streams, and instead of just watching the streams, I started to watch what people did in the streams, how they interacted with chat. I started listening to podcasts to and from work. And I remember I was listening to an Ask Bro Man podcast where he was talking with Little Sia, I think. Let me look this up. Hold on. Let's not make an idiot of ourselves. Well, I can't find it there. Let's just look under podcasts. Featuring the Jazz, True Vanguard. Okay, I can't find it, but I distinctly remember listening to an episode where Ask Bro Man was interviewing someone, and they talked about when they started streaming, they just jumped in full time, they made affiliate in 2 weeks, and they partnered in 6 months. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And I remember listening to this thinking, that was really unique to them, and not that I had no expectations that I was going to be able to do something like that. You know, in the back of your mind, you're like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if I just started and killed it? But I was being realistic with myself in the moment and acknowledging that probably was not going to be the case for me. So fast forward to when I started streaming, and it was not the case for me. I remember it took me about 2 months to hit affiliate, and I got discouraged in that time frame because I was meeting other people who were streaming, and I was watching them grow faster than me, which was disheartening, and it made me feel like maybe I was doing something wrong. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today is embracing the fact that your journey is unique to you, and it is okay to not be on the same path that everyone else is on. So my name is Mo, this is Mo Reigns Gaming, and today let's talk about embracing the journey. I have a problem with numbers in that I pay too close attention to them and I put too much weight on them when determining whether I think something was a success or not. And that's a problem for me because I already tend to view things as pass fail, which is a whole other episode. We'll talk about that some other time. But content creation has been an interesting journey for me because the numbers are important. I know a lot of streamers, and I've done this myself, who cover up their viewer count during stream, which I think is smart because it's not about who is or is not in the stream at any given time. It's just you want to be able to put on the same stream every time, whether it's for one person or 10 people or 100 or 1,000. You want to be authentic and genuine in your stream, and that's that can be difficult when the number is right there in front of you. For me personally, I know that when I was first starting to stream, if the number went really high, like I got rated, I would feel flustered and like I really had to be on my game. And then as the number dipped back down to a more consistent level, I would feel like I was doing something wrong, which isn't the case. Your numbers just fluctuate. That happens. But it was difficult for me to separate myself from the numbers and put on a good stream regardless of what the number was at. Hence covering up the viewer count, and hence why I think that that's a good idea, especially for a lot of new streamers, so that you can fall more into your comfort zone when you're still figuring things out. That being said, numbers are still important, right? It's important to be able to look at things in the grand scheme, and whether you're a variety streamer or if you're just trying new things on stream, you have to be able to look and say, okay, on this day I did this and this worked, and then on this day I tried this and my engagement really tanked. So what was the difference between those 2 days? And your numbers can really help you kind of hone in on trends that are good and trends that are bad. I say all of this because I knew that I had a problem with numbers going into content creation, but despite that, I still focused too much in on them. It was the same thing. I got really into strength training for a while, and I wanted to gain weight and I wanted to bulk up, so I was spending a lot of time in the gym. And I set goals for myself, and setting goals is a good thing. So let's say that. Let me preface this by saying that setting and having goals is very, very good for growth, and I encourage you to set goals. However, I was setting a goal of, I want to weigh this much, and I want to be able to lift this much to determine my progress and my strength. And when I didn't meet those goals, when I didn't weigh exactly what I wanted to weigh, and when I wasn't able to lift exactly what I wanted to lift, I viewed the situation as a failure, despite all of the evidence in front of me that I had grown, I had put on weight, I had become stronger, I was much more consistent. I had made a lot of really great progress in the time that I was in there, but because I hadn't met this very specific kind of arbitrary number that I had set for myself, I viewed the situation as a failure. And it was the exact same scenario when it came to content creation as well. I did not set specific numbers for myself. I had kind of learned my lesson there from my time in the gym, thankfully, and I felt good about that. But I was still comparing myself to other people and judging myself based off of my progress versus their progress, which is a very, very unhealthy thing to do. And honestly, that's something that I still struggle with today. I remember getting to a month and not making affiliate and being totally fine with it. But by the time I was coming up on 2 months, I was feeling insecure about it and feeling, like, why are so many other people able to do this and I can't? So I was meeting new streamers and I was listening to more stories of people successfully starting streaming. And they're like, yeah, I made affiliate in 2 weeks, or I made it in 3 weeks. It was really, really easy. You'll get there, no problem. And because I didn't get there, no problem, because it took me a little bit, I felt like I was doing it wrong. I felt like I have an issue of judging things pass fail, which is kind of another episode, so I don't want to dive too deeply into that, because that topic can take a long time to talk about. But because I wasn't achieving affiliate in the same time that other people were, I felt that I was failing, which is not the case. And I'll say this a lot as we're going through these vlogs, but it's hard when you are in the middle of something and when you are personally and emotionally invested to stay completely logical about what's going on. It was very, very difficult for me to just logically tell myself, hey, it's totally cool, you're on the path, like, you're fine, you're still making progress. And I was, and this is where I started to enter, I have a problem of entering into like a loop of frustration. Because I was not making affiliate in the timeline that I thought was appropriate based off of what other people were doing, and I was starting to look too deeply at the numbers and feel that my numbers were not growing fast enough, I would get frustrated. And that's the first part of my loop. And then the other part of my loop is that I would get frustrated that I was frustrated about that, because that kind of took away focus from what was really important, which was I had done something that I should be proud of. I had decided that I wanted to become a content creator, and I had set that in motion, and I had pressed go live, and I had started the journey. And that in and of itself is a success story. And if you are out there thinking about becoming a content creator, or you've done that, then you've got that to be proud of. The second you press go live, it's something to feel good about. You have achieved something great in that moment, and you should celebrate that. And I was getting frustrated because instead of celebrating things like that, or celebrating the followers that I had, or the relationships and the friendships that I was getting by meeting new people who were also starting their streaming journey, and just focusing in on the numbers, I was frustrated. And then it would come back to the numbers and then go back to that. And so I just kind of felt myself in this loop of being frustrated at one thing and then being frustrated that I was frustrated. And it's so frustrating to be caught in that cycle. And, that's the problem with insecurities, right? Is that they suck. And, I know that numbers are a problem for me. I can look and acknowledge that and say that this is an issue, and that it clouds my judgment and it skews my perspective on things. and I can work on it, and I do work on it, but that doesn't mean that it just goes away. I am still insecure about numbers, and I still put too much emphasis on it from time to time. It's a lot better than it has been in the past. I've definitely made a lot of growth. It's just, it's not an overnight thing. You got to constantly work on it. And as a content creator, numbers are going to be in your face the whole time. And you're going to have to deal with them. And here's the thing. Here's what I can tell you that I have learned. Is if you have a stream that didn't do quite as well, or you make a video and it just didn't take off quite as much as you hoped that it would, there are things that you can do. Right? Maybe you released the video at the wrong time. Maybe it's not, maybe the SEO was off with the video. Maybe you need to look at a different game to stream, or maybe you're streaming at a bad time of day when there's a lot of competition. There are always things to look at, but I can promise you from lots of personal experience that sitting still and doing nothing except wondering why it isn't working is not gonna get you anywhere. I promise you. All it will do is make the situation worse. So when you're in those moments, just remember that there is always a way to move forward, even if you don't see it right away. And a lot of the times, the best place to start is to just talk to someone about it. I mentioned this in my last video. I am very, very fortunate that I have a constant sounding board in Mrs. Mo. She has heard me rant time and again after stream and stream that I feel like I'm not doing good enough, or, you know, that I'm doing something wrong. And I am very lucky that I'm constantly there to have her to remind me that that's not the case, and that I'm doing fine and things are okay. If you don't have a Mrs. Mo in your life, you can talk to other streamers about this. You know, over the last year, I've gotten to meet a lot of cool streamers who are on a similar path that I'm on, and you can have, you know, don't be afraid to have these vulnerable conversations with them. Hey man, I'm struggling right now. This is a problem. You know, my numbers are just tanking. You know, have you experienced this before? What did you do? And just start the conversation, because a lot of times that's gonna give you the fresh perspective you need to maybe just switch things up a bit. I have a Discord channel. I'll put it in the link down below. I'll also link my Twitch channel down below, but I'm always here to have these conversations with as well, because I am still on this journey with you. You know, I am still figuring things out. But again, I promise you there are a lot of things that will work. The one thing that won't work is sitting still and being insecure about it. So the message for today is to move forward, keep moving, embrace the fact that your journey is your journey. And just because you're not moving at the exact same speed as someone on your left or on your right, it's okay. It is all right to move at your pace and achieve your success at your rate. Thank you so much for coming by. I really like having these talks. I want to continue sharing this stuff. I want to continue these conversations. Honestly, it's great for me. It's very therapeutic, but I also want to have these conversations and open up a platform for you guys to have these conversations as well, and express the frustrations that you're experiencing. You know, because as we continue to talk about this stuff, we will all continue to grow. So let's keep having these conversations. If you're liking these videos, please leave a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. And if you do want to help and support the channel, please subscribe. Press that button right down there, and then press that bell that's right next to it to get notified as these videos come out. I'm looking to put these out weekly and talk about a different topic every single time. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. You all are rock stars. Remember, embrace the journey, and I will catch you on the next one.